Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Lee just shit.
We're recording, you know.
Oh, shit.
We had a good start. I don't think we've got the personnel.
You can fucking laugh all you want, you absolute bellend.
I think about things, that's why you lot are idiots.
A melted version of a dick that's been shrink wrapped.
The absolute elite shithousery of this. Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Ought to Know Better. This is the Berardi and Coke After Match podcast, where we will be talking about the away fixture at Anfield. I'm Gilly, your host for the evening, because Luke doesn't look at the rotor and fucks off to darts. Yeah, so fair play to him. I think I'd probably have done the same anyway. So, that's why I am here tonight, joined by my able assistant for the evening, Carl. How are we doing?
Jeez, I wouldn't go as far as to say able now at this stage. Christmas is taking it out of me, but yeah, I'm here anyway. How's it going?
Here in spirit, if not in body.
Well, yeah, one of them anyway. I'm not quite sure. I'll figure that out as we go along.
No bother.
How are you?
Yeah. I'm pretty good.
Good. My
little man's been at the dentist today, but he was very, very brave. But he's 14, so doesn't like me saying that he was very, very brave about it. So you know. So I am conscious that it is Friday night and people have things to do and places to go and have to see a man about a dog and whatever else. And I am aware that you are making your way out into the ether at some point. I don't know where you're going, and we don't need to get into that, but we'll get into it. You can get into it if you would like.
It'd be all right. I think I'll keep it to myself.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll get straight into it. Lee Fryer did point out that you get all sorts at this podcast. You get some bollock chat. It is important to check them, but we'll try and keep that to a minimum this time. Come back to the main pod for that. I did offer Smarty's services in checking them. So get into his DMs. He's away for his birthday, so happy birthday to Smarty. And yeah, just slide in there if you're after his services. So we'll get straight into the game. I do have a little bit of something in the media assets for us to have a look and a listen to. I'm not going to get into propaganda. I think that the market has been cornered on that, or the corner has been marketed on that, even wherever we're going on that one.
You could rephrase anything you want, Gilly. It's 2026. Do whatever the hell you want. We do have something rather amusing. But we'll get into the fixture then. So, Rodon was unavailable. We knew that in advance. I think there were talk about, are we going to revert to a back four? And there was some concern, probably is right, if we look at Struijk and Biol and their ability to get around the pitch. You know, I think that they've had really good seasons, but the three at the back really complements them, as does Rodon. So I think there was some concern there as to, will we see Bornau come in, or will we revert to a flat back four where we've struggled earlier in the season? And it also means that we struggle a little bit in midfield. And you know, you look at Jabozlai and Verts and Ekitike, and Frimpong came back into it as well. Mobile players, good on the ball, want the ball. You need to be able to have a solid defensive approach to it. So was it a bit of relief when you saw the formation, if not the personnel? Let's start with that first. Yeah, I actually thought it was quite a brave decision to go with the same formation, especially with Rodon getting absolutely clattered there. I want to say last week, but it was only like Wednesday or Thursday or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Quite recently.
No, not Wednesday or Thursday, because Thursday was yesterday, and that is when we played. No, was it?
Yeah, it was yesterday. Monday? Yeah, Monday.
When did Rodon get hurt though? Was that Sunday? Sunday.
Yeah.
It's still that weird period around New Year's.
once everyone goes back to work, then it'll all start to melt into one again anyway, so it'll be fine. To be fair, I wasn't awful worried about bringing in Bornau. I thought he's done okay the few times he's come on, and nearly had an assist, which we'll get onto as well. But in relation to the formation, I thought if Fark was kind of thinking, right, I want Bogle out of the side because he's one booking away from a suspension,
I want, to kind of wrap Dominic Calvert-Lewin in cotton wool for a while. Why didn't he think the same about Ampadu? I
yeah.
get. I can understand the arguments for having Ampadu in there. He's our captain. It's a big game. But in the position he plays and how he plays, he always runs the risk of a tackle that might end up in a yellow card. But the yellow card he got was absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. I don't think it was a yellow card, but we'll probably get on to that.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought the formation was quite good. I thought everyone that came in played really well. I thought Gruev probably had one of his best games for quite a while. Even though when he's come on and been used, he's looked the part. He's looked good. He's done his job well. But I thought coming up against that kind of Liverpool midfield, he did very well yesterday, as can be said for a lot of the players. Even our slowest centre back Pascal had a good game yesterday. I don't know which one now. To be fair, you can't really call Pascal the slowest in that back three last night. It was very close, like. But no, I was happy that he went with that formation. It showed guts, and it showed that he's got the trust of the players to be able to sort of go, right, we're missing this player, someone else has to come in. Fantastic. I thought it was brave, and it was justified by the end of it with the result.
Yeah, so I think if you just move to the lineup then. So you mentioned a couple of them already, but DCL not being available, or at least not being picked to start. Mecha coming in. I think we've seen the pair of them play well together. We've seen Mecha have a couple of good finishes as well, with and without DCL on the pitch. I don't think that's entirely related, but they have been a good foil for one another. But he was up front with Aronson playing off him. So Okafor not there either. We had Gabby and Justin offering the width this time rather than it being Gabby and Bogle. To touch on the question around Ampadu, I think that the loss of Longstaff, I think, potentially bringing in Gruev, if you've got a fit and fire in Tanaka or you've got Longstaff playing, I think is different. Not having the experience of Longstaff, because we've spoken before about the importance that Ampadu has in the side, leadership, the shithousery aspect of his gameplay, his ability on the ball. I think Longstaff's probably the closest, I would say, to being a similar player. And I think if you've got Longstaff and Stack and you bring Gruev in with them, I think that's a different thing. So maybe that played into the thinking, or maybe it was just he has to rest DCL because he's worried about him getting an injury, and he is so important to us. And he felt that Bogle was the one that he wanted to rest, and therefore, taking Ampadu out as well, maybe that just a bit of a stretch too far when you've already lost Rodon. So yeah. I just wonder if that's what really played into the thinking there. But it's a fair question. Could you have played Bogle, dropped Ampadu? Could you got away with dropping? But I think there were so many changes that he felt that he was forced into. 4 games in 11 days is not to be sniffed at, and that's what it'll be by the time we get through this little period. That it is a challenge, but so we talked about the lineup, but I wanted to focus on one player there because Bogle has been important to us, and I think he's really, really crucial to the way that we play. Him and Goodmanton give us balance, giving us the width, knowing when to get forward, knowing when to be back. I think they've got that ability about them to do that wing back role. Justin seemed to me to step into that. I thought he played really well. Some really, really important blocks, but also positionally, I don't think he didn't really tend to get caught out. Wirtz was playing over there. He were what, £115 million, whatever he was. Yeah. Jabozlai were pulling out over there, and I think he's quite a decent player. Curtis Jones were there, and Robertson were getting forward as well. And I thought Justin handled it all. I thought he played really well, especially given that he's not got many minutes. Bornau's played inside him. He's not had many minutes. I thought the two of them stood up and were counted, and I thought played really well. So just in terms of the personnel, was there anything early on in that first half that stuck out of I'm not quite sure about that, or why have we done that, or did it feel quite settled from the outset for you?
It felt very settled, to be fair. Debs is actually in the comments there. I was going to essentially say the same thing. Defence looked and played like that was our first choice defence. People doubted Bornau, and like I had not seen much of him. We saw all the Wolfsburg supporters saying, "Oh, thanks for taking our donkey" and all this kind of stuff. And I'd be honest with you, I don't know what donkey they sold us, but it's not the same donkey they're talking about. Like we seem to have got an old horse for ourselves there, not a donkey. Like, he came in and like Deb said there, he looked like he'd been playing there all year. And to me, that's the quality of a player if they can just slot straight in there. Like, what a game to make your debut, like your full Premier League debut, starting on the pitch at Anfield, like. You're stopping, for want of a better phrase, a kind of a resurgent Liverpool at the moment. They hadn't lost, or they'd won a couple of games on the bounce after us, and to be defending with the cop at your back in your first game for the club, he stepped up and he did very well. James Justin, he got man of the match, so the proof is in the pudding there. I think if ever, touch wood, there is something that happens with Bogle where he's out for a period, it might be bookings or whatever the case may be. I think James Justin coming in there and playing in that system, and the same can be said for Bornau. I absolutely have no problem with either of them coming in now at the moment.
And given how important those two players have been for us, that's a big deal. There's a lot of pressure, especially Bornau, I would have said, because Justin's had a little bit. He's not had long appearances, but he's been on the pitch more. Bornau stepping into that, Branford and replacing somebody as important to us as Rodon in the starting lineup. That's not to be sniffed at either, is it?
No, not at all. And the other side of that coin as well, Gilly, make a good point, about James Justin, but he's also had a lot of Premier League experience. So stepping into a game like that for him, granted, it's his first full start for Leeds, but. Him stepping in there and doing that job, we should have all really looked at it and gone, the guy can do the business there. He's played for England, he's won an FA Cup, he's done this, he's done that. But there's always that shadow of doubt because you see what Bogle does on a week-to-week basis, and you're wondering, Jesus, they're big shoes to fill. And I think Bornau and James Justin done themselves absolutely the world of favours there, and given Farke a bit of a headache, because we know what he's like when a team plays well and they don't concede or they don't lose. He tends to continue playing them, but it could be a different kettle of fish come Sunday. Like, I think Bornau will start again. I saw someone say online that he looked like he might be out after going off, but then there was loads of people just saying it was cramp. There was
it's insane.
So that's a good thing. But. Yeah, I'm confident enough now in players being rotated. I think they have the full backing of Farke, and I think they back Farke as well. And the proof in that is the performances of late. Haven't lost in 6 or 7 now. 4 draws.
I mean, not losing through that run in December is just incredible.
And like when we were on the main pod, it was one of those. This particular block of games that we were looking at, and we were like, Jesus Christ, we need to be a couple of points ahead of whoever's in 18th at this rate, because we're not going to get much. And then we end up absolutely bamboozling ourselves and getting the points we need to kind of steer ourselves clear a bit, which is
lovely, isn't it?
Oh man, it's fantastic. The only thing I can kind of say to that is people, there's been people online kind of going, oh yeah, well, West Ham are just having a bad run and this and that. I'm like, they can have the bad run all they want. Give us credit where credit's due, because we've actually gone on that run, and with the teams we had to play and when we were talking about Ampadu being suspended for Sunday, Debs asked the question there, is Longstaff back? And I think it was
he's training, isn't he?
LUFC Lee said, Deb, yes, Longstaff is available. So in hindsight, if he is actually available, then the loss of Ampadu isn't going to massively affect us then, if he can play.
Yes. If he can play, being available is different to being sharp enough, is it? So I guess a lot of it will depend on how he trains and what far he sees in training. I think it's still an impact to us because Ampadu is so important, his leadership and whatever else. But as we mentioned earlier, just in this podcast, Longstaff's got a lot of that, those credentials, that long history of playing at this level.
Yeah.
He brings a lot of that experience. So I think that's an element as well. One thing to say is that not one single team in the bottom three has won in the last 6 games. They haven't won a single game in the last 6. So that's 18 games that have been played between the three of them. They've not won a single one. The fact that we're now 7 points clear of West Ham in 18th, that's massive. Then you play into the fact the goal difference, which I think is 10 better than theirs. Our goal difference is not fantastic. I mean, if you look at the Arsenal game, we got beat 5-0. It is what it is. But I think the fact that we're in that position and we've got through that run of fixtures that looked. I don't know if you remember. You will remember going and beating Man City. But I don't know if you remember when we beat them with 10 men. The run up to it, everybody were looking at that going, "Fucking hell, we're going to get battered. Yeah. We are going to get battered. This could be a cricket score."
Yeah.
And when that lineup was announced, I mean, I was quietly confident of a win at Anfield last night. I really was. I wasn't crowing about it, but I was predicting a 2-1, and I was quietly confident about it. And then I saw that there were no DCL. I'm like, oh no. And albeit it was on the bench, but I'm like, oh no. And then you realise there's no Bogle. It's like, you already knew there's no road on. This is going to be tough. The way that the game played out, I think absolutely the setup, the approach, that low, more of a mid block. We tried to compress in the midfield, and I think we did it really well. They had one man up front, and albeit Ekitike has been on some incredible form himself. He's been what they really needed him to be when Isak and Wirtz have not been. It would be interesting seeing where they had they passed over Ekitike because they thought they were getting Isak and then he'd gone to Newcastle, because that would have been very different, wouldn't it? He's been very good for him. Obviously, he got a brace against us at our place not too long ago, so we knew he was a danger man. But he's only one person, and we're playing 3 centre backs, so we always had one free, even if one was picking up and dropping off managing Ekitike, and that means you can compress. You can get closer to your midfield because you've got that. And there were a couple of times there were a breakaway, Strike running back, trying to catch Frimpong, and you're thinking, Jesus Christ.
To be fair to Strike, he did enough. You know what I mean?
He did.
He obviously got beaten. Burned for pace,
but you look at that situation and you're thinking Rodon's just going to run round him and take it off him. And the other defenders that we have, they just can't do that. But you're right, absolutely did enough because he managed the situation, and albeit he didn't manage it quite so well as just walking out with the ball as Rodon would have done. But you're still in that position where he's got back, he stood his man up. And then everybody else can get set and settled into their position that they need to be in. And you're absolutely right. Did enough.
What I think he lacks in speed, he makes up for in football intelligence. In the sense that because he got absolutely whooped for pace, he knew he wasn't going to beat him for pace. So he had to think about how to get around that. And I think he done very well. And when, I know you're going, you can say football intelligence or whatever, but.
No, it's absolutely fine. No, the reason I had a wry smile is because I don't think he's particularly good at reading a game, but he's very good at being reactive to a situation.
Yeah, and he's done well there. And I think, he needs to be given a lot of credit there. He's the most experienced centre back that we actually had, Premier League centre back that we actually had playing yesterday. And it says a lot that the 3 of them weren't the quickest, but they still managed to contain 3 of the quickest forwards that, let's be honest, the Premier League has got at the moment when they get going, like Wirtz and all them. Obviously, they're pony at the moment, but they're still very, very quick. And with the 3 centre-backs that we have, we know they're not quick, but again, they can read the game quite well, whether it be reactive or actively reading it well. I think that they do enough. Like you mentioned earlier about when the team came out and you were like, oh no, Bogle, and we've not got no Rhoda. Now that you've seen how they can cope and handle, will you have that kind of, like we all had it? I'm not just singling you out now, by any means,
Yeah.
Would you have that frame of thought again based off Fark playing that defence again? Because I think we've played one of the hardest teams to play away from home with that now. So I'm thinking anything else after that's fairly fucking cosy, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that it's an important point. We know that going into, I mean, let's make no bones about it. We were at the home of the current champions. Yeah. Not only were we at the home of the current champions, but we're at home at the current champions who then invested €500 million into their squad over the summer. This cannot be underestimated as a challenge, because you're going into that, you're thinking, right, okay, what we really want is we want our strongest 11. What we really want is to be able to put out our best team. But then you've got Scum at home, and you're thinking, well, actually, we're playing so well at home, albeit under the lights, but we're playing so well at home that we need to be targeting wins at home, and therefore actually rotating away from home makes more sense.
Yeah.
So on the face of it, utilising what he's got available to him, albeit whether we're getting some players coming back from injury or not, he didn't have Longstaff, so he has to plan to not have him until he's available to him, and that's just how it manages. So balancing the bookings against Ampadu and Bogle and only starting one of them. Understanding that DCL's played a lot of football and even at 28, if you look at his fitness record, just assuming that he's going to be available throughout and can play 4 lots of 90 minutes in 11 days, that's not going to go well, is it? You just can't do that. So I think the answer to your question is no, I won't be worried in the same way, having seen that they can perform. And I think that how things played out on the night, Liverpool there's a toxicity there. So, we knew that the Anfield atmosphere is a myth. As Dave pointed out earlier in this chat, or actually, did she put it on Twitter?
It's on Twitter,
they were playing pre-recorded crowd noise to try to simulate some form of atmosphere. I mean, that is absolutely ludicrous, but that's what happened. How long ago was it that Scummers were coming out complaining about the Prawn Sandwich Brigade? It's the same problem. It's just moved to a different club.
Yeah.
So that's I guess part of the price of success. There's a lot of the same gets leveled at Man City and the atmosphere that they get. They were a proper club with the proper atmosphere, and more on telly than going. I did go once, but I was really young at the time. But Main Road were a thing to behold. Like the baseball ground and Berlin ground, there are sides that have moved and they just haven't retained that, and some of that success. West Ham have just moved into a soulless bowl. That's their choice, and that's fine. Yeah, but Anfield's atmosphere is a total myth. They'll sing a shit song at kickoff, and they'll sing a shit song at full time. I hate "You'll Never Walk Alone." I think it's one of the worst football songs there is. It's as bad as Bubbles, which is also shit. And I'm not having it that it's good just because there's a story around it. It's shit. North London Forever is probably better than both, and that's not great. So we're really lucky with our songs. But yeah, I think you look at that lineup, and I've still got some question marks around Perry and his decision making. I thought there were a few times he could have come and collected the ball and commanded his area a little bit yesterday, and he stayed on his line. Now, whether that's because he's been asked to do that and his defence knows that or whatever, I don't know. But there were a couple of times I thought he could have come, and he didn't. But Bornau, I think you're right, slotted in there and looked like he'd been there throughout the season, and replacing somebody as important as Rodon, it can't be underestimated.
Oh yeah, it's the same as Justin coming in for Bogle. Even though Bogle wasn't injured, the work effort that the two of those players put in throughout 90 minutes is phenomenal. And you expect nothing less but the same from the players coming in, which we obviously got. Fantastic, isn't it?
I think So I think for me, part of the frustration is
we've played the champions twice and should have got more than 2 points.
Yeah, that's a pain in
No.
the arse, isn't it?
That's
Imagine coming
crazy
away from
in
December
itself.
complaining about that.
That is crazy in itself. But I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that we could have come away with more than that, especially at home. We were generous, and albeit, if Canate is not feeling particularly charitable and doesn't clean out Nonto, then we probably don't get anything at home either. But on balance, I think if we'd have come away with 4 points, I don't think that would have been necessarily unfair.
I don't think so.
So I'm just going to mention one thing, and then I'm going to play something. So what I want to do is I want to get the ref out of the way.
Okay, yeah, sweet.
Now, you'll have seen the graphic for this that I set up, and it's Arne Slot crying because he's been in the media and there's been some real fucking tears from him, and he's been playing lying. There's no getting away from it. He's been lying. He's come out and said that our players went down easy, and he's got into his mind that the ref was on our side.
How has he done that?
It's absolutely incredible. So I'm going to mention 3 things. So Chiesa dived at the end of the match. He put his leg between who were he up against?
It was Goodmanson.
Was it Goodjohnson? Goodmanson. Put his leg between Gabby's legs and then threw himself on the floor. I'm like, right, okay, well, that's a dive. That is simulation. That's not foul, so it's simulation because he's dived and then complained about it. Verts had one in the first half, no contact at all, ended up on the floor and then started. He wasn't claiming for it, but he sat up and he was looking at the ref with his arms out. It's like,
that's claiming it for me.
So he's asking for something.
Yeah.
I mean, count to 10. The Jabozlai one. He had a finger brush his eyebrow.
Oh, don't.
Went down like he'd been fucking sniped.
Oh.
And the ref did not stop the game because it wasn't a foul. Stack was fouled. So at the point at which an eyebrow got brushed, we're in possession, right? At the point at which we lose the ball, we've lost it because we've been fouled. The referee stops the game at that point. He didn't give a decision at all. So at that point, I'm on Twitter while I'm watching the game, and I've seen Graham Smith from YEP tweet saying Jabozlai's gone down. I think he'd said something like his cheek appears to have been brushed or something like that.
I saw that, yeah.
It should be a restart of a free kick to Leeds United on the edge of the box. And I just responded with the VAR checking club badge meme because I were confident it wasn't going to be given, even though it absolutely should have been that. Not only was the free kick not being given, but we were in possession at the point at which the Boslai's eyebrow was brushed by a finger, meaning the ball should have come back to us. Not only did we not get the free kick, we didn't even get the ball back. It's like, how could anybody say that this ref is on our side?
I was in a pub last night and I was literally sitting there with the lads and I was like, okay, so he's given the free kick to us, but he's gone back to Szoboszlai just because it's a head injury. And we were all like, surely that's our free kick because obviously we got the foul. As soon as the foul was committed, he stopped playing, he went back to Szoboszlai. I was like, right, he's got it. We've got the free kick. Go and tend to the little wimp and come back and we'll take the free kick. Stack will move it back 5 or 6 yards and ping it in the top corner. Sound. And then he didn't, and he gave the ball to them for a restart. I like, where do they? It just confuses the fucking shit out of me. How did he do that, and how did he come to that conclusion? Like, how?
I'd love anybody to tell me.
Like, how in God's name did he come to that? Because it's certainly not a bleeding drop ball to them. Because he's fouled our player.
It's either a foul and a free kick to us, or we get the ball back because we were in possession when the brush of the eyebrow happened.
Yeah. I genuinely, I was like, how in God's name are they actually doing that? Like, because, quite frankly, it was the most. Well, I can't even say it now. Can't even say it because, you get.
So a couple more things. He gave against Mecha, gave a high boot when Conor Bradley dived at his feet
to about 2 feet off the ground with his head. Now, I think, albeit I would have done the same thing if I thought that were the best way to win the ball when I was playing at centre back. And I did end up in hospital on more than one occasion, having been kicked flush in the face and lost a lot of blood. But that's the way I played football.
That's what the story is then, is it? Right? I wasn't sure. All these years, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Like, a few kicks to the head will do that for sure.
Yeah.
And
there is. Next time you see me in person, there is a distinct bridge of the nose slice in the skin there. Oh yeah. Well, no, not broken. But there is a scar there.
All right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, go carry on.
But I mean, you're allowed to. There's a bouncing ball in the area. It's there to be it. It's it. I don't think that should be a free kick if the defender decides to throw his face into the way of your boot.
That's a choice. I said that to one of the lads in the pub. I was like, how is that a free kick to them? Stack's foot isn't high, and the defender's chosen to put his head at knee height. How is that a free out? If anything, it should be brought back 15 yards and an old school drop ball between the two of them and just leather each other. So,
not contesting drop balls also frustrates me as well these days.
Yeah. Just remember.
Woosa. I can't get to my earlobes to stroke him. I've got my headphones on. So the referee, I think, not only was totally abject. We've spoken so many times. We've got the cream of football in the world in our league. So bringing the cream of the referees around the world, or even continental, But we've made our thoughts clear on that regard on many occasions. So we don't need to get into that. I thought he was total abject. The one genuinely, Perry stood there with the ball in hand, right? He's got a player stood in front of him, and he's going, can't restart while his player's here. He does nothing about it. And then tells, albeit didn't blow up against him, but told Perry off for time wasting. It's like, no, move the man. They're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I thought he was terrible, but the one thing. So I don't know if you've seen back. The Ekitike bit when Biol's got hold of him.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times. Yeah.
So did you recognise the foul on Biol by Ekitike before he grabbed him then?
Prior to that, yeah.
Yeah.
About 5 yards before.
If you're going to give anything,
Biol started fouling.
Yeah. If you're going to, so in isolation, if all that happens is Biol wrestles him, that's probably a penalty. So there's been a couple of Leeds fans that I've seen on Twitter today say, well, it started outside the box, so it would be a free kick anyway. No, that's wrong. It would be a penalty because if it continues into the box, then it's a penalty. However, the first offence was by Ekitike on Biol, and therefore, if you're going to blow up for anything, you're going to blow up for that, and we're going to get a free kick anyway. So, anyway.
The other thing there, I just want to make another point on that, right? So, if there is a penalty and VAR checks it, how far back do they go to check? Because if they should go back to the start of that phase of play.
No, they would do, because if there's a handball in a build-up,
no, I get
stop and go back to that as well. So they've got free agent to go. They've got free agency to go back to check that.
Yeah,
it's whether they use it appropriately or not.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think the referee was absolute garbage on Sunday, but
and yesterday.
Yesterday. Fucking days, man. Thank God it's Friday, because at least there's some form of normality with football being back again on Sunday, and it's like sound happy days. It's not all over the place. But you said earlier, I think they should rotate the referees from the top 5 leagues around Europe.
Yeah.
Every week. Just rotate them. French 1 week, Dutch the next, German the next. Just rotate them. At least there's no one biased towards any one club then, because they're not from that country. Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Arthur Busby, just going on to Sunday, he's come in with a very ambitious scoreline here. 2-1, 2-2. How we working that one?
Is that not a formation? We're only starting 7 outfield players.
That was my next question. Like, I'm not quite
That's
sure.
pure penis ball, isn't it? 2-1-2-2, just down the middle.
I'm not quite sure how we're going to score like that, unless he's playing Gaelic football and it's 2 goals and a point to 2 goals and 2 points. That's the way I can look at it. Like, but yeah,
maybe he's trying to. I'm very close to getting my uni course finished, and maybe he's predicting that I'm going to get either a 2-1 or a 2-2.
Ooh. Let's go with the 2-2 on that. So is a 2-2 better or a 2-2-1 better? Eh?
I don't even know. I don't know.
Get it.
Yeah, I would want it to be done.
I just want it gone.
But on Sunday though, absolute shameless beg. If anybody is about a ticket, I needed to. I found one. So if anybody's got one, so I do have a little bit of a video for us to enjoy just before we come on to the second half. Okay. I really liked this. Now I am told that this guy's a complete knob. There's no getting around it. He's just a knob. But the meltdown on Twitter has been unreal. You know, people telling us about the referee was on our side and Slot's absolutely right, and us wasting time. Well, just listen to the very end of this bit in terms of us wasting time as well.
Fucking New Year, Liverpool! How many times? How many fucking times? What is the point in us playing the first 45 minutes? You do fuck all in it. 1 shot on target in the second half. It's the 96th minute and Soberslide standing there on the ball for 10 fucking seconds not doing nothing. Do something! Oh my fucking God, man. I am not gonna keep fucking repeating myself because it's all I do. It ain't fucking working!
I've one thing to say to that dude.
Woosah.
Is that what success looks like as a fan? 4th place, champions. Is that what it looks like? Because I fucking don't want it. Give me mid-table mediocrity the whole time. Because if I turn into that dickhead, just shoot me. Put me down and use me for glue.
It's horrendous, isn't it? Absolutely fucking horrendous.
God, that was horrific, man.
And you know, I get it. I do get it because they're wanting to win every game. Obviously, everybody wants to win every game. But you know, Plucky Leeds turns up, rotates our squad, doesn't start the star striker that's on the best scoring run in the league. Doesn't have our well, I think he's quite clearly our best centre back. Changes our right back, changes in midfield. It's just, you know, we've rotated the squad to focus on our next home game, and they still can't do anything about it. And I think that's just incredible. And the meltdown has been unreal.
It's been fantastic, hasn't it?
It really has.
And do you know what I've noticed as well? There's a lot of scum fans taking the piss as well, but I think they've peaked too early.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to get drawn into that because it's very, very easy for you to say the wrong thing in the build-up to the next match. But you look at Chelsea, Palace were incredible. Sunderland, massive meltdown from them. Us being on this run, it's been so incredible just watching other clubs. Just be so the obsession. Everybody wants to beat us. Everyone, all of them, and it's ace when they can't. It's shit when they can, and you have to take it. But that's roughly the smooth. We've had our ups and downs, as the song famously goes. And you know, you take your medicine when you shit, and you really give it out. And actually, that's when we're at our best, is when we're able to give it out.
But the thing is, like, you get all these teams that are in the Premier League now, and they're like, "Oh, where Leeds is cup final, blah 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 blah," and you're like, "Mate, you've won 1 trophy in your whole history's existence. All right, just pick a lane, but not ours. Stay the fuck out of it. Just go away." You know what I mean? It's like, chill, lads, chill. Where when you think about it, we're actually everyone's cup final because they just want to beat us that badly. We're not anyone. We don't look like, we're looking at the Man U game now on Sunday, and we're like, they're just scum. Like, we just want to beat them because they're from that side of the wrong side of the Pennines. You know.
But they'll love to beat us. It's not a one-way thing like some of them would try to have you believe. It's a two-way thing. They'd still chant about us. Yeah. We hate Liverpool and Man City. We all hate Leeds. We all hate Leeds. I mean, if you listen to them, their biggest chant, we're mentioned more than any other club that they hate.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
One other thing, so I am conscious about the timescale. So one other thing I wanted to mention was how great it was that Ekitike had an open goal to aim for 4 yards out, and fucked it that badly. It was heading for a free kick. If it had been hard enough, it was heading for a throw in before it hit Perry in the face and bounced away.
Great save, if you ask me.
Absolutely,
Great save.
He'll take it.
Oh,
He'll
all
take
day
it.
long, all day long. I thought, Jesus, that's going to put a dampener on his confidence. That kind of miss, like, it's just like, yeah, it's grand. Doesn't matter.
Absolutely. So, just a couple more things then. So, 70 minutes or so, I want to say. Some changes.
Yeah.
Metcher and Arrington off, Okafor and DCL on. But were we unlucky at that point? Having got to that point, albeit Liverpool with a lot of control of the game, possession without doing much with it, sideways, backwards, passing, whatever else. Are we unlucky after those changes and the complexion of the game to not come away with more? I thought we were at home, but was it true last night as well?
Well, based off the evidence that Bornau nearly had his first assist in the Premier League, his first start and his first assist, I think we were very unlucky to come away with just a point. Like, very unlucky, rather, sorry, to come away with just a point.
Yeah.
I think we looked like a brand new team when Okafor and Calvert-Lewin came on, but that's because they're bringing confidence, they're bringing the ability to unlock a defence. Like, Okafor went on tour, he got to the byline inside the 18-yard box and was very, very unlucky not to find one of our players. Stack was coming onto it at one point, rattled it, took it, hit one of their players, came back out. We had another pop. We looked like a really, really fresh team when the two boys up top came on, because I think that midfield three had another 90 minutes left in them. I think they were absolutely fantastic. Like,
Oh, I don't know about Gruev. Gruev looked very leggy at the end.
well, yeah, okay, you know what I mean. It's more of a. I'm not saying they're going to play another 90 minutes. Like,
yeah.
They looked like they could have played for a little while longer, and still kept Liverpool out. And I won't have anyone say, "Oh, Liverpool could have been there all day and they wouldn't have scored." It's like, no, they could have been there all day and not scored, but that would have been down to us, not down to the fact that they couldn't hit a barn door yesterday.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is. And you see a lot of these creators online now, they're like, Liverpool, they were shit and they couldn't score and blah, blah. And none of them mentioned the fact that our defence was absolutely solid as a rock.
Yeah.
Solid. With two additions to it who'd never played together alongside each other. One of them hadn't. They both made their full debuts for Leeds last night. That's on Liverpool. That's on Liverpool being crap. And
You take advantage of that, or you miss out.
Yeah.
So no, that's fair. So the biggest hangover from it though is that yellow card on Ampadu. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous, right?
Yeah. That's never a yellow card. Never a yellow card.
I don't think it ran ball for a start.
It was kind of there.
So either Paddy has to be offside, or so if it's offside because you're pointing and that's the bit where you're offside, then you can touch that bit with the ball.
But have they not changed that rule now because of that Paddy incident?
Yeah, they lowered it to say it's t-shirt.
Well, then why the fuck is he even getting booked then?
Exactly. It wasn't even a free kick. It wasn't handball at all. They made it very clear that it's the t-shirt sleeve. That's where the break point was. So, yeah, I mean, it's out of all of the players that we've got, he would have been most reveling in playing in that game, and it is a real shame he's not going to be. But I think given how we've gone and played second half at Man City, twice against Liverpool, all of them, Chelsea, Palace, the way that we've gone about it, especially at home, like I said, albeit not under the lights, but especially at home, we don't need to fear anybody right now, right?
I don't think so. I think people are starting to come to the realisation that playing at Ellen Road, whether it be under the lights or just in general, they don't like a hostile atmosphere anymore. They've been in the Premier League so long and been used to the sterilised fan bases that they play in front of. They don't know what to do when they come to Ellen Road. Like, every away team that's come here to Ellen Road this season has basically gone away going, why can't we have a stand like that?
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, like, There's a couple of Chelsea fans put out tweets going, "I wish the shed was like that," and we're
that's what we need.
Right next to the away fans, and we're nothing like that. And I'm like, yeah, let's just stay toxic.
It's going to be a bear
Stay
pit.
Toxic.
Absolutely going to be a bear pit.
Yeah.
So it's a real shame. And Steve Brown makes the point here as well. We'll lose a long throw threat as well. Now, both Gabby and Bogle have got a decent throw on them. It's just not like Ampadu's. He gets such a low trajectory and pace onto his throws. I don't know why we've not used that before. It's very in vogue this season, and it were really early on that we'd adopted it. So it's a bit of a strange one. Liverpool were awful at defending set pieces, and I'm not expecting the Scum to be much better. But so I think it is a bit of a shame that we've lost that. It's a massive shame that he's not able to play at all. But I think the fact that we're in this situation where we're relishing playing against the big teams. I just wanted to say, Farke chose the team last night. Farke chose to set up in the way that he did last night. He made the changes at the point at which he made the changes. I mean, I've held my hands up to him on more than one occasion since that half-time at Man City and said fair play because I thought he were out. I wanted him gone. I'd become one of those Farke out people. The run that we were on, it was so with the football was poor. The run, we weren't getting any results. We weren't getting any luck either. But we're in that position now, and that's why I say it now because I doff my cap to him, and he's put us into this position, albeit with the help of Calvert-Lewin being in the form of his life and whatever else. But that's not relevant. He had to pick him because Mecha was pushing to start, and Okafor and Onto and others. So he's picking the team, and I just wanted to that last bit just give a bit of kudos. And there are some comments just to whiz through. There's only 6 of them, so we won't be long, Carl, I promise.
No, sound, man. Sound.
Ian Ward says, great performance and result as Liverpool seem to have an extra man on the pitch dressed in black. Absolutely 100% agreed. They won't, but no. I do. LUFC Lee says, I'm astonished we came through December without a loss. Look how good we've been since the Man City game. Bloody astonishing. I cannot believe I'm defending Farke. I wanted him gone. Same point. It is absolutely right. So, I think just on that point, you won't swap him for anybody at minute, would you? Farke?
Who's better than him at the moment that you could get in?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it now, because he's got the players behind him, and they're certainly playing for him. So who else? It'd be probably the one time you'd shoot yourself in the foot if you got rid of him now.
Fair. Dr. Cox says Nonto should have started with Mecha yesterday. Now, we all know who that would have been instead of. So I'm going to come to you for some opinion on this.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably that is not dropping Aronson into midfield and playing Nonto over Stack or Gruev or Ampadu. So presumably what you're saying there is we would have not started with Aronson. So what's your take on Nonto over Aronson in that specific game last night?
I think it was a prime opportunity to give Nonto some much needed game time, personally.
Okay.
I'm not.
So you would have?
I would have started Nonto, simply because of how, he's brilliant down the middle of the park. Nonto, like there's times where he can find a pass that, let's be honest, there isn't many young footballers of his age that would find it. You know what I mean? And I think
the ball from the wing for DCL that he put on DCL's head.
Exactly.
He's got a good cross on him as well.
Yeah. And I think he deserves a shot up front now, I think, at this stage. And that's I'm not saying this in any way to slay it or badmouth Aronson. I think he's been, for the most part, he's covered a lot of ground. He's got an assist. He's done quite a bit where he can kind of hold his head up high and be happy with his performances. But at the same time, you want something a little bit different against a defence like Liverpool. I was screaming for Nonto to come on at some point and just run at Kanata. Just run at him again. Just absolutely run at him again and leave him for dust and take your time. Just, and I think towards the end of that game when we had Calvert-Lewin pressing on the last man quite well for the last 10 minutes, I think that was prime for the likes of Nanto to come on and play off DCL just for a little bit, just to kind of put something different in there. Like with Aronson, what you get is you get a lot of running, you get a lot of closing down, and he does the hard yards and he does the dirty work, which I get. But at that point in the game, that Liverpool defence they're fairly tired at that point, like, you know what I mean? And I think that's a prime opportunity to have someone with the skill set and the eye for goal that Nanto has to be running at the likes of Van Dijk and Kanate.
So I know you were saying to bring him on, but are you saying that you would have started Aronson, but you would have brought Nanto on earlier?
Oh no, I would have started Nanto,
Right,
but
okay.
I'm just saying at 70 minutes it would have been prime time to bring him on and have him running at the likes of Kanate.
I mean, Okafor does that for you as well, though, doesn't he?
He does,
and he did.
But I think psychologically, how that Liverpool defence is set up at the moment, if he sees Nanto coming on, his arse is falling out. Like, let's be honest.
Especially if you remind him, which you absolutely should be.
You'd be in his ear,
You're going to take me out again. You're going to take me out again.
Yeah. At least
remember last time.
This time, yeah.
Remember last time when you lost yourselves 2 points because you couldn't cope with me.
Man, I was absolutely fucking horrible for that kind of stuff when I was playing, man.
Oh, big time! You got it. That's half of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, fair. Okay. Next comment from Ian Ward. Gillian Carr, what's your thoughts on the Harrison to Valencia transfer bid? Thoughts,
I'll drive him. I've got a diesel now. I don't mind paying the extra few quid. It gets me a little bit further every time. I'll drive him.
I think for me, it's akin to the Pirot position. If he's not playing and he's got some value, why wouldn't you?
Out. Good luck.
Give yourself some overhead to bring in somebody that the manager fancies, because clearly he doesn't fancy Harrison. And if Valencia are interested in paying any money for him or covering his wages that allows us to make a loan deal in January, whatever that might look like, if the manager doesn't fancy him, there's no value in being there in the squad. So I'm all right in going. I've got no major issue with Harrison in the way that a lot of other people have. I've got a major issue with his mum, but less so with him. I think we fucked him about at least as much as he did us, if not more. So I'm not really worried about him being around. But if he's not being used and he's got some value, realise the value on him.
Yeah. Bremner's slingshot, Bremner's ghost is saying, hit the road, Jack.
Well, the next comment was from Bremner's Ghost. 1995, our last clean sheet at Anfield. No, I've not fact-checked that, so you can give Bremner's Ghost some shit if it's wrong, but I'm going to take it at face value, and that is incredible.
That's insane, isn't it? I like to think that people would do their bit of Googling before commenting on here, because there is the risk of putting in a shit take of the week, even comment. So I think people are very wary of that. So I think that's probably
just
accurate.
on that. People fucking hate being tagged a shit take now, and they really hate it. You get a response now. No, it wasn't even a take. It was just an opinion. Well, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So,
It's shite.
same thing. And Paul Brennan says, apparently Clicky will be in the stands on Sunday as a pundit on Polish TV. He wants to savour the Elland Road atmosphere as a Leeds fan.
Come
Love
on,
it.
Clicky, get 30
Love
yards
it.
going. Get it going.
Love it.
Give him
So
something to sing about on his commentary.
yeah. I mean, he'll hear that several times, won't he?
Oh, yeah.
The Aronson thing, actually. SofaScore's got him listed as the worst rated player on the pitch. Sorry, no, I missed one. He's the second worst. Metcha got a 6.3. I've misread both. I think I read the 6.3 was Aronson and it's not. Metcha got 6.3, Conor Bradley got 6.4, and Aronson got 6.5, which puts him second worst on our team.
Oh, right, for us. Right. It's a little harsh, but...
I mean, yeah. But I got some stick early on in this pod saying that I would not acknowledge if he had a good game anyway. I would like to point out I did acknowledge that he had a better game than his average in the previous podcast that I did.
Yeah.
So I've already done that.
That hurt you.
No, absolutely not.
Face.
I would love nothing more than for him to turn into Prime Zidane. That would be great for us because that would benefit my club. He'd be first out the door for me because I think he's useless. But if he stopped being useless, then that would be great. No, I think I get the point that Farke makes about the work rate and whatever else. I think if you're playing a low or mid block and you're trying to hit on the counter, then what you need is Okafor or Nanto backing up your number 9 because you carry a lot more threat. So I think that. But all in all, it is an absolutely fantastic point to go away to the champions, who have spent 440 million euros on their attacking threat, and come away without having conceded is just immense, absolutely immense, and that can't be missed.
Yeah.
That can't be underestimated at all.
Yeah, there's quite a few people here. Lee Fryer is like Brendy and Gritty sitting in a tree. Dodo 1992-3. The visceral rage Gilly gets whenever Brendy is mentioned could fuel a country for decades. Well, at the rate that the old energy prices are going up, we should start bottling that, something similar to bleeding Monsters Inc. or something, you know what I mean? Where it screams power to things. It's like anytime Gilly gets mad about it, where's the container? Where's the container? Just get it and give it to him.
Laughter fuels more than being scared. Remember Monsters Inc. Laughter fuels more.
It took them a while to figure that out, like nearly 92.5 minutes or something to figure that out. Like
it did take them a while. Last question. Man of the match.
Do you know what? I'm going to give it to Borno because it was a stellar performance. Brought in no one, let's be honest, in our fan base trusted him prior to last night because we hadn't seen that much of him. So yeah, I know James Justin got it, but I'd like to give it to Borno strictly because Justin already had the Premier League experience to come into a game like that. Borno didn't, and I think that's what swung it for me, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I did give it Justin. I tweeted it at full time. I thought you're right. Borno played well. I thought Stack was really, really good. But yeah, and I thought Gummerton and Strike and Biol, all the defense played well. But yeah, I gave it Justin just purely on principle. You look at some of the blocks he made. He reads it so well when he needs to make a block. There were a block that he made very early on that if they score at that point, you're thinking, oh, shit, that's our game plan gone. So what we're going to do now?
Keeping it tight went out the window if that goes in.
Yeah, so it was really important. So yeah, I gave it Justin, but you could legitimately give it to 7 or 8 different players because as a unit they played so well. So I won't be worried going anywhere else at all. Right, so we shall call it there for tonight. Thank you very much for everybody getting involved in the comments. Thank you, Cal, for joining at late notice. Feel free to give Luke as much shit as you would want.
He is going to cover some amount of fucking podcasts, that lad. Absolutely. I think we've covered more than he's been on recently. Like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, he has moved house, so and that is a stressful thing to do, but he's just at darts on piss tonight. So
I don't fucking care. Yeah, he's at the darts on the piss tonight. For free, I might add.
Yeah.
In a corporate, I might add. So I have no fucking sympathy for him. Go on.
None whatsoever. So we should call it there. Thank you to everybody getting involved in the comments. It does help. Thank you to everybody that were in the trenches with me on Twitter with the Scouse fans as well, because it's been quite amusing there. If I get a ticket, I'll see you on Sunday. I'm still holding out hope. But even if not, make it a bear pit and get into it and get into them scum bastards. And let's target starting the year as we mean to go on and taking 3 points against them, the bastards.
Yeah, man. Get to the Peacock for points anyway.
Well, that means that. Well, yeah, maybe we'll see.
Imagine not being in the Peacock after we beat them bastards.
I know.
Imagine
in there. Go buy some merch. Links are on our socials. Like and subscribe. There's a thing called Hype as well that's not available until about 4 or 5 hours after. So do that, and then on the audio pods, go and leave us a review because it all helps their algorithms and all of that other shit. Hit the bell and I don't know, do all of that stuff. We're too well. I work in IT and I still don't know what I'm on about. So yeah, thank you very much.
Hype till someone said it.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. And thanks again, Carl. And we'll see you back here next time. See you, pals.
See you.
It's all to know better. We all to know much better than letting Carl go on with Jay. Luke's calling out bad weathers, and Smarty is no better, and Gilly gets fan mail again. But every time we go live, sharp shit tick has been can't speak or even tell the time.
It's more a toys out the pram.
If I see his mother in the stands, I'm going to crack an egg
for tonight. And if you like these weapons and you don't think that balance, please go check out our merch site. Good night.
A little tosser, and I hate him. He's shit. He's average, and he's a shit house.